All right. Okay, cool. Good. So we're live. All right. Well, happy 4th of July weekend, and I am happy to be here with another Friday night live stream. Been doing this for a while now and been having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, welcome back to my toilette or my vanity. Last time we were here, we were doing a little get ready with me video as I was preparing to record, to film my second episode of Dark Side of the Labyrinth. And tonight I'm going to do something a little bit similar. It won't be so much of a get ready with me video as much as the last one was, but I'll explain in a moment. I know sometimes I'll give it a couple minutes because I know Facebook sometimes, you know, like I always say, takes like a little bit, maybe another minute or two before it lets people know that you're live. But I am here instead of in Fort Niagara this weekend because I was supposed to go to Fort Niagara. I've been going there for the last couple of 4th of July weekends. They have a French and Indian War, or 7-Year War as it's also called, event out there, and it's a lot of fun. My French unit always goes out there. I love hanging out with them. I love hanging out with my Sutler friends. But of course, with everything going on, Fort Niagara was just not going to happen this year, unfortunately. Some of that's due to the social distancing and the COVID pandemic that's going on. The other reason is also that in our French units and within the French Army, for the reenactments, a lot of French Canadians participate. And since the border is closed now, because Fort Niagara is, it's right on the border of New York and Canada, Toronto to be exact. In fact, if you look out to Lake Ontario, I posted on my Instagram earlier today, you'll see that you can actually see the Toronto skyline across Lake Ontario. It is right on the Canadian border or close to it, and since a lot of French Canadians do participate in the battles, like as part of the French army, unfortunately the borders are closed and they're not coming over. So yeah, and I do believe that Fort Niagara is just closed altogether until next year, so there isn't even just taking a road trip up there, so as soon as it opens back up again, I will be definitely taking a road trip there, if I, unless, if I don't get to do really anything reenactment wise up there. So I am here this weekend. I am home this weekend instead of in Fort Niagara. But I am still doing a little homage to Fort Niagara this 4th of July weekend, and this is kind of a little kickoff, doing something Fort Niagara-ish, or something that is, at least for me, related to Fort Niagara. And at my blog, I'm actually also going to be launching my new blog and podcast. Well, not my podcast will come later this month, but my blog, and I'm actually turning it into more of a webzine than a blog. That's going to be launched tomorrow, along with some things Fort Niagara related will be on that blog too. So I'm really excited with the direction that's going in. And then my first podcast episode will be, coming later this month. So I'm excited about everything. And yes, so a little bit of what I am going to be doing this evening. Well, for my third episode of Dark Side of the Labyrinth, I am going to be doing an episode based around the ghost tales that surround Fort Niagara. And before I begin, I do have my coffee Yes, this is a King Henry VIII mug. Usually, because I know usually with these live streams, I show off like a very unique mug or cup that I have, that I drink from, that I just kind of show you. I found this in actually a coffee shop. It's called, or it's like a coffee shop, little cafe called Fortuity. I think that's what it's called. I'll drop a link to it below, but it's a really good, it's really good food. I went there, I think it was last year for the first time with my friend Kara, as we were discussing doing a sewing workshop, and we were planning it. And as we were paying this mug, King Henry VIII and his disappearing wives, the mug caught my attention. And as you could see, Henry VIII is right there, and as you pour the hot beverage, his wives, because when the mug is empty or cold, you see the full images of his wives, but they disappear, and it says, I don't know how well you can see that, but it says their name and how basically they disappeared. Yeah, this is King Henry VIII we're talking about. Basically, so you have first Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour, Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and Catherine Parr. And Catherine Parr was actually the one that survived him. And, so I don't know, maybe Catherine Parr should be the one on, that stays on the mug, but I don't know. But but yeah, he, cause his wives either disappeared, either he had them executed or he divorced them. Except for Catherine Parr. Catherine Parr outlived him. So, yeah, so I found this mug. I was just like, that is funny in a very morbid way, if you like dark humor. So I picked it up. I thought it was very unique. And yeah, so this is what I'm drinking my very much needed cup of coffee out of tonight for this live stream. And I've been doing... Actually, speaking of my King Henry VIII mug, I have been actually getting, kind of revisiting a lot of Tudor history, and the history of England, the history of, but particularly the Tudor dynasty. The Tudor dynasty, of course, being, King Henry VIII, Elizabeth I, and it actually obviously didn't start with King Henry VIII. They actually... the Tudors go back a little bit more than that, but yeah, I've been revisiting that history a lot, and I find it very, very fascinating, of course, and especially studying each of Henry VIII's wives, and and just seeing just like their personalities, and some of their similarities, their differences. And I was even thinking, especially since we're talking about my podcast now, I was actually thinking of, possibly maybe doing like a podcast, just like a fun speculation podcast episode of if Henry VIII's wives were living today, like what kind of women would they be? I think that would be a cool thing to explore. What would their interests be? Maybe what kind of music would they be into? Maybe what kind of jobs would they possibly have, or at least job prospects would they be interested in? I don't know. I just, that idea just came to me. I'm like, wouldn't that be interesting to explore? Just look at, their personalities back in their time, the 1500s, and then just, maybe take that and like apply it to the 21st century, and, see like, hey, yeah, what kind of women would they be? What kind of a woman would Catherine of Aragon be? What kind of a woman would Anne Boleyn be? I think she by far would be the most interesting, she's the one that interests me the most. Anne Boleyn interests me the most, I would say. And then I also really like Catherine Parr. That's my girl too. So yeah, so, who would Catherine of Aragon be? Who would Anne Boleyn be? Who would Catherine Howard be? What kind of women would they be? Like I said, would they have careers? What kind of careers would they have? Or, like I said, or would they, who would maybe just want to be like a stay-at-home wife, something like that. I think that would be a very fun thing to explore. And if you think so, yeah, let me know. Drop it in the comments. And yeah, that might be a future podcast episode or even a future live stream discussion. I can't talk tonight, but yeah, we'll still get through this. So, all right. So tonight, as I said, this is going to be a Fort Niagara based kind of, it's not really a makeup tutorial. It's not really a get ready with me. It's more of a makeup experiment. Because as I said, what my my next episode of Dark Side of the Labyrinth is going to be, if you're just joining us, what that's going to be is, like I said, it's going to be surrounding the ghost stories, the ghost tales of Fort Niagara, and there are a couple of them, and just kind of discuss them, and and are they, how far back do they go, or was it maybe something that was fabricated at some point along the way. But I do think it would, that's going to be a very fascinating episode. And it was one of the episodes that it was one of the choices when I was trying to narrow down the topics for the first episode. It was one of the choices. The Jenny Wade episode was a choice, that's the one that ended up winning, and then the Jenny Wade of Gettysburg and that story, and then the headless ghost of Fort Niagara, and another ghost tale surrounding Fort Niagara. And both were very close, but Jenny Wade ended up winning. So, but I did promise that I was still going to do a Fort Niagara ghost, ghost of the castle episode. And so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. I am going to be doing another, like I said, I'm barefaced again, so I am going to be doing more makeup for you again. All right, but this time it's going to be a little more scary rather than pretty, because last time it was Snow White. I was transforming myself into Snow White for my second episode of Dark Side of the Labyrinth. And tonight I'm going to be experimenting. I'm going to be experimenting, turning myself into a ghost of the Fort Niagara Castle. And yeah, and I would love your comments, your feedback, if you have any suggestions. I have a bunch of stuff here, so things that I'm going to experiment with. I have, my makeup palettes here. I'll show you those in just a minute. I have some Halloween makeup. I have 18th century, replica of 18th century makeup. I have all kinds of stuff here, okay? So I am, like I said, I'm just going to be experimenting a bit, kind of turning myself into something kind of, hopefully kind of scary and maybe a little grotesque. You don't know, we don't know. But I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're just going to play with makeup tonight and talk. So, all right. I think this is going to be fun. All right. So, first, of course, before you do anything, I'm going to put on my primer. This is an e.l.f. Illuminating Primer. I showed it to you last time. And I do like the e.l.f. products too. Like I said, they're cheap and they're vegan products. So, and you can get them pretty much anywhere, Target, wherever. So, I'm gonna do this. And because whether I do stage makeup or regular makeup, I always put on primer. So, like so. All right. Okay, so, what we're gonna do first is, of course, I have to create the base of the ghost. And I have an idea for what I want my ghost to look like. So you like I said, but like, just as a side note, the rest of my outfit that I'll be wearing for the episode is going to be a surprise. But you'll get to at least get an idea of what the makeup's going to look like. So I'm going to be first doing the base. But, you know, and of course, like I said, it's going to be a ghost. But of course, I don't want it to, I don't want to just do just like a white, face, which is oftentimes the go-to for a lot of ghostly makeup. So I am rummaging in my 18th century bag because I know I have a white paint here somewhere. That okay, yes, an excellent paint for the face. All right, this is by LBCC Historical. Oh my goodness, my vanity light. But yeah, so it's an excellent paint for this face, and LBCC Historical, she does amazing replicas of period makeup. So yeah, so that is just a basic white paint for your face, so you could get that kind of pallid painted look that they typically did in the 18th century. And by the way, I in my my French unit, the one that I would normally be going to Fort Niagara with this year, I typically am, I've been at not just Fort Niagara, but at other reenactment events too. A civilian, camp follower, which, you know, like being a, you know, a female persona. But this year I was going to, this is also why I was really excited about going this year. I was going to be debuting my first male persona. Okay, and I was going to be a French soldier and demonstrate artillery, and it would be my, like I said, my first time being a man, my first time being an 18th century man. But that can't be this year. So, but yeah, you know, next year, and I'm looking at it this way, this will just give me more time to perfect all that. But yes, but for my ghost look, for those of you just joining us, I'm kind of just experimenting tonight, creating a kind of a ghostly look for myself for my third episode of Dark Side of the Labyrinth. So, because I'm going to be doing, the next episode is going to be about the ghosts that haunt the castle, that are said to haunt the castle of Fort Niagara, because this was supposed to be Fort Niagara weekend, but due to everything that's going on, it's not going to be. So I'm not at Fort Niagara this weekend. So, but yes, but this is the white paint that I'm going to be using, but I don't want to completely do like an all white face like I said earlier. I'm going to mix it up with something, and this is me experimenting a little. I have an idea of what I want it to look like, but we shall see how, if I achieve those, results. And like I said, if you have any suggestions, just, or if you have any ideas, just drop it in the comments. But, all right, so let us get going. I am going to be mixing some of this white face paint that like I said, it's a replica of an 18th century white face paint, and I am going to try mixing some of my 18th century paint with some, now this is actually Halloween makeup. So I'm going to try mixing it in a little bit with this dark gray here to try to give it a little bit more of a gray look. So we will take a makeup sponge here, and all All right, I am just going to scoop out I'm going to scoop out just a little bit of this because I don't want any gray. After thinking about it, I don't want any gray to mix in here because I am going to want to use this again for an 18th century event. So I'm going to take some of this out. All right. As I said, I am experimenting tonight. So I'm going to take some of this out here, okay? And I'm just going to put this, just a tiny bit, because like I said, I don't want to do too much just yet. So, all right. This might get a little messy, but that's okay. So I'm going to take this little bit of white here. I even might take some of the white here, and I'm just going to take this creaminess here, just take the creamier part, all right, and then mix it in here. Yeah, I don't care if this cheap Halloween makeup gets all mixed in. I just don't want my little bit more pricier 18th century replicated makeup getting mixed in, getting ruined. But yes, this should make kind of a light gray color. And okay, to give me kind of like that ghostly pallid look. Okay, we will give this a try here. All right, so I'm going to try a little bit. Oh, okay. I think I like that. All right. Yes, it's giving me, oh, nice. Giving me kind of like that grayish look. I'm going to have to probably do it a little bit darker for you to see it, but it's kind of going to be giving me that kind of grayish. Yeah, and I think I have enough mixed in, enough of that 18th century face paint mixed in here. Okay. All right. And of course, I'll have to take a selfie of this when this is done. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're just having fun with makeup tonight. Okay, so I'm going to do my whole face like this. I hear fireworks going on outside. Yep, fireworks outside. I'm doing ghost Halloween makeup in here, so it's all right. I'll have all weekend for that. Much rather be here hanging out with you guys. All right. Yeah, getting there. Yeah, I didn't want to do like a completely white look for the ghost makeup because number one, I don't know, for me, I think that's too easy. I like to challenge myself a bit. And number two, I don't know. If you're not careful, you could end up looking like, I don't want to look like a mime or anything like that. But I didn't want to go just like, you're all white, just kind of, just pure white, like stereotypical, just what you typically see for a ghost look. I want to experiment a little bit and just kind of have a little fun, but okay. Yes, it's giving me a very nice gray look. Okay, it's starting to show a bit on camera, on my phone. And this is nice too, because this will also give me an idea of just how much of this I'll need to put on for when I do the actual episode. So, okay. All right, yeah, it's starting to, maybe I might put a little bit more white in there. Okay. in deep focus here. I'm trying to set the right base for what is going to be my ghost look. Okay, there we go. Of course, you want to blend into the hairline. Like I said, I have my outfit planned and I can't wait to do this 3rd episode. And yeah, but like I said, I'm not gonna say what it is. It's gonna be a surprise. So, I mean, on the one hand, I don't want to get too wild and crazy with this makeup look, because I do want to, you know, still keep a certain simplicity to it. But I, you know, but I also want to just make it kind of fun and look good on camera, and just so that, yeah, just it can add a good effect for the Fort Niagara stories. So, all right, getting there. Might mix in a little bit more white, and I think then I'll be done. So I'll just scoop out a little bit more of this 18th century face paint, put it here. Like I said, I don't care if this Halloween makeup, which is, you know, a little bit cheaper than my 18th century replicated makeup. I don't care if this stuff gets messy and all over the place, but I do care if my very good 18th century makeup does. So perhaps that can be another one. Another vanity table live stream. Perhaps I can do an actual 18th century makeup look. That might be fun. Okay, so yeah, we're getting there. Sometimes this does take a lot longer than you think. Looking into the mirror, looking into the phone, camera, everything. Of course, you need to kind of spread it all over your face so you don't look like you're just wearing this mask here. Okay. All right. I think I look a little bit more pallid and ghostly and all right, yeah. So my goal was to create kind of like this almost gray look to this almost kind of very pallid gray look. So yeah, I'm just kind of lowering my ring light a little bit, so hopefully you can maybe see it a little bit better. Let me see. There you go. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah, so that kind of created a sort of very pallid gray base to it. There you go. I might put on a little bit more, you know, just for fun. Yeah, because like I said, this is the experimenting with the makeup for the next Dark Side of the Labyrinth episode. And yeah, it's almost there. Okay, almost. Sorry, I am just trying to get that correct shade of gray. So All right. I think that'll do, because I don't want it to be effective, but not go too incredibly overboard. So, all right. Okay, so yeah, I think we got the base down, the base of the ghost down. So a little bit obsessive about this kind of grayish base, but yeah, there you go. All right, yeah, I think that's good. Okay, that hatlet has a good base to start. So what I am going to do next is I'll show you actually, well, I'm going to show you the makeup palettes I'm going to be using, but I'm going to set this a little bit too with some powder. And the powder that I'm going to be using is another 18th century powder called Pearl Based. And yes, it is in here. Just bear with me for a moment. Okay, yeah, pearl powder. There you go. So I am going to just take a brush. I'm going to take a swig of coffee. Okay. So I'm going to just take a brush, and you know, it's just regular crushed pearl powder. I just kind of want to set this a little bit. So what I am going to do is just take a brush. Okay. All right, so pour a little bit into the lid. All right, kind of give it a little swirl. Okay, and then I'm just gonna touch it up with the powder. Okay. Oh, I missed my mouth. So I am going to see, this is why we're kind of experimenting. This is why we're practicing. I am going to be doing, all right, gonna be giving my mouth a bit of a gray look now. Okay. All right. So we're taking this again. All right, taking the makeup sponge, dipping it into the dark gray. And okay. See, that's the fun stuff about this. I mean, you can literally pretty much almost make it up as you go along, and there's almost no right or wrong way to do it. Well, there is. There's, I mean, you know, sometimes you do want to get some contouring, correct contouring right to give a good effect, but you can be really, really experimental with this type of makeup. So, once again, taking the gray and just really gonna go over my mouth with it. Yes, now we're getting somewhere. I love it. Okay. All right. Okay, and all right. I'm gonna take that same gray again, and I would like to see if I could hollow out my cheeks a little bit more. I'm probably gonna go over that again with a darker color, but all right. Okay. All right, so yeah, maybe go under my eyes a little bit. Okay. All right. Just once more over my mouth for good measure. All right. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. All right. So I am going to show you some of the palettes that I am going to be using too. Now, these are some eyeshadow palettes. Now, the Snow White palette you kind of met when I did the Snow White look last time. And but I'm also going to be using some stuff from it's another e.l.f. palette. It's their vampire book. Awesome. And also this, I love it. It's the Sleeping Beauty palette by Besame. And Besame Cosmetics, like I said in the last one, they do a lot of vintage inspired colors. They do a lot of careful research and see what was popular during a time. During a certain time period, like the 1920s, or, up to about they go up to the 1970s. But this is the Sleeping Beauty palette that they did. And they just did, I probably did not need to spend this money, but they just did, and they released a limited edition I Love Lucy palette. So of course I had to get that. So I can't wait to get it, and I will share it with you when it comes in. I'll probably share it on my vintage lifestyle blog, but yes, but this is the Sleeping Beauty palette. Look at that, gorgeous stuff. But I have that, and I have more just plain Halloween makeup, stage makeup. I have all kinds of things here that I'm experimenting with. But yes, but we have a nice little base now, so I'm gonna maybe use the e.l.f., the vampire book, and see what we can get out of that. So, all right, so these are the colors in here. So I am going to just take their makeup brush and try to do something with my eyes here, but without it looking like I'm wearing makeup, if you will. So, all right. So I'm just going to kind of dip that brush in, and maybe, I don't know, this might work, it might not, but, I don't know. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That might be a little too dark, because like I said, don't really want it to look like I am wearing makeup. But ooh, maybe if I smudge it out a little bit, and maybe even put some under my eyes, that might work. Okay. There you go. Let's give that a try. Alright. It's a little better. I don't know. I might play around with this and fix it up for the actual episode. But yeah, but let's try blending it in with some of this white colored powder. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. A little better. I don't know, like I said, I'm probably going to play around with it a little bit more before I do the episode, but maybe if I even put some under my eyes, that might give it a little bit more of the effect I'm going for. All right, yeah, now we're getting somewhere. It's like I don't want it to look like I have like black eyes though. I don't want it to look like I've been in a, although the person I will be portraying has kind of been through the ringer, if you will. The person that I will be portraying in the next Dark Side of the Labyrinth episode is, you know, you can say this person has been through the ringer. So, yeah, all right. That's okay. Yeah, now we're starting to get somewhere. All right. So, yeah, still gonna play around with it a little bit. But hey, at least I get an idea of what I'm doing. Okay, just a little bit more. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm liking this. Okay. All right, yeah, now it's starting to look the way I've kind of envisioned it. And it doesn't matter since I'm not portraying a human, if you will, or at least something that is no longer human. You know, it doesn't have to, I mean, the two sides don't really have to match. They don't have to be perfect. But I'll still blend this a little bit more. I need another swig of coffee. So, all right, so what are you doing this 4th of July weekend? Or what would you be doing if, say, maybe the circumstances were a little different? And yeah, what are you doing this weekend? I'd love to know. Just drop them in the comments. Let me know what you're doing this weekend. All right. All right, so just gonna blend this a little bit more. Yeah, like I said, both sides, I mean, they don't have to match really with the type of makeup I'm doing for this episode. But I would like it to be a little bit blended. All right. Yeah. Cool. Now we're starting to, starting to shape up a little. Okay. And I'm going to see what'll happen if I also kind of highlight my eyebrows here. Because I don't want them to totally sink in. Or I don't know, maybe I do. We shall see. Like I don't want them to I don't know. I guess, like I said, we'll see whether I want them to blend in with the rest of my face or not. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, yeah. Start, like I said, getting somewhere. Like I said, might experiment a little bit more, but okay. Starting to look the way I kind of wanted it to look. So, all right, now I'm going to hollow out my cheeks just a little bit more. Let's see. Let's try something from the Sleeping Beauty palette. In fact, maybe I might use a green color somewhere in here too, just to, because they have this gorgeous dark green color here. So might be, how about, yeah, I want to see how it might look. All right. Might give it be a little bit different. All right. Oh, goodness. All right. Yeah, I think this green works very well. What do you think? Right. All right. this side might need blended in just a little bit better. Just blend it out and up. All right. Okay. Yeah, I like that green, although I'll blend it into my neck a little bit more. All right. Let's see, just maybe where'd I put that sponge? There we go. It might work a little better than my fingers. Okay. All right. I'll have to write down all the stuff I use for this so I don't forget it, and I could replicate it. But yeah, I could replicate it when I go to do the episode, which I plan to film that episode this coming week, this next week. So yeah, so I will have that up first on my Patreon, and then it'll be a week later. It'll be available to the rest of the world. So that's how that's gonna work. So all right. So I think getting close to the end here. But of course I want to add maybe one other detail. I don't know. I'm thinking to add like a little red here to maybe kind of resemble blood. So let's see what we can do for that. Okay, I think I do have some fake blood somewhere left over from a film or Halloween, but yes, let me see. Or I could improvise. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's try one of my red lipsticks. There you go. So, all right, and then I don't know, unless this might work. Okay, blood red lipstick, perfect. So take this, take a little brush here. All right, take a little brush, because I don't want to rub my lipstick directly on my head. That would not be good. That would ruin the lipstick, and we don't want that. So I'm just going to take a little brush and just tap it there. And this is also from the Besame line. It's a blood red. I used that in, I don't know, might that be too red? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like after I blend it in. And we don't want it to be too super even. Okay. Yeah, I don't want it to be even and look like I don't want to be too neat with it. See, this kind of makeup is fun because it's the kind of makeup, like I said, you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. Okay, but yeah, I want the blood to look a little bit more splattered. All right. Might have to experiment with this just a little bit more, but yeah, okay. That's starting to get somewhere. And with the rest of the attire that I will be wearing for the next Dark Side of the Labyrinth episode, yeah, this will look just fine. Yeah, I mean, I might have to, I'm thinking I might have to, just kind of like, maybe get like a little bit like actual fake blood and like kind of paint over these, maybe use this as a base and then actually kind of paint some fake blood over this. But yeah, I think this is, yeah, the basic look that I am going to go with for episode 3 of Dark Side of the Labyrinth, the Fort Niagara edition. And like I said, my outfit, the outfit that I will be wearing with this, it's going to be a surprise, but I just thought it would be fun to get on here and experiment a little bit with it. Like I said, I didn't really have anything planned. Yeah, I might need to blend that in a little bit better. But, I'm going to play around with this look a little bit more before I go to film the episode this week. The episode that's going to be on the Fort Niagara. Hey, Matt, what's up? On the Fort Niagara, the ghosts that haunt the Fort Niagara Castle and the Fort Niagara grounds, because there's a couple of those stories there. And like I said earlier, since I can't be at Fort Niagara this weekend for their French and Indian War event due to just the whole COVID thing that's going on, I am bringing Fort Niagara to my blog, which I am launching my newly revamped blog, which is going to be more of a webzine now tomorrow. I'm really excited about it, just putting the finishing touches on it tonight. And there will be all kinds of Fort Niagara stuff on there. And yes, this was kind of like kicking it off a little bit, doing this little makeup experimentation. Like I said, my last one where I was, here at my vanity table, I was actually getting ready to do my Snow White edition, my Grimm's Fairy Tale edition of Dark Side of the Labyrinth. And for this, I just thought I wanted to experiment with my ghostly look that I am going to have for the Fort Niagara episode. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to experiment with this a little bit more. I mean, it's kind of along the lines of what I envisioned, but yeah, I think there can always be improvements. And of course, if you have suggestions, just drop them in the comments, let me know. And with that, yeah, I can't talk because hence why I needed the coffee. And if you didn't see this earlier, it's my King Henry VIII and his 6 wives mug. And the coffee's getting a little cold, so now his wives are coming back, his disappearing wives. So yeah, so that's what it looks like, because when the drink is not as hot or if the cup's empty. So all right, well, I am going to drink some more coffee, and I am actually just going to relax tonight. I have a couple places to go to this weekend, on top of bringing you Fort Niagara at my webzine. And, I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. And yeah, let me know what you're doing. And I am now going to go wash this off and go relax. So, all right. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. All right, have a safe and fun weekend.